to do YouTube? It's your boy Brown Love, and what do I love? I love practical wisdom, practical application, and I'm gonna be answering this question that I got DM'd the other day with my own logic. So not with just my own logic. I have a special guest today. I have my beautiful wife. Go ahead, introduce yourself, baby.
Hey everybody, it's a girl Shay, and
And I'm glad that she is here. She is my better half. That's what I say on a regular basis. All right, so we're gonna get into this question. So I was DM the other day, and someone asked me what's going through a man's mind when he's thinking about or considering marriage. What are men thinking about when they're pursuing a woman? Or is that woman even the type of woman that he would be interested in the first place for marriage? And I had a couple points that I want to highlight. I have her here so we can get her amazing perspective. I wouldn't want to just give you my own insight because this is such an important question. We've been married for 7 years. We have four beautiful kids. I met this woman in high school, okay? Let that seep in. It happens. It's a real thing. It's not fake. It's not a fairy tale. It is possible. You you find someone, and often that person grows into the exact thing that you need them to be so you can pursue greatness in life. Like I said, we're both Christians, so we're on board with the religious thing. I understand that everybody that's listening to this video isn't going to be a Christian, so I'm not only going to be speaking from a Christian perspective, but just to let you know in the backdrop, if old girl over here wasn't saved, it wouldn't be going down like that. Not simply because I wouldn't be interested, but also the people that I keep around me would have made a conscious effort to separate us from each other, not in a malicious way, but thinking about down the road, we're raising kids. Are the kids going to be allowed to go to church? What type of church are they going to be? What type of church is the other person going to be pursuing? What type of, even it boils down to entertainment. Okay. If you're not a believer, the entertainment that you participate in on a regular basis isn't going to be the same. You know what I'm saying? Something may offend my conscience, and then the other person is just like, ooh, I'm having a good time. Why you tripping? So, one of the main points of what a man is thinking about when let's consider they're already together. Okay, they're already mid relationship. They're already been together for, let's say, a year. They've already been together for like a year, and now they're trying to figure out, is this person who I need them to be? Okay, so what's going through a man's mind is, does he see a future with you? Okay, that's extremely important. Does he see a future with you? And I'm not talking about short-term future. Men answer things extremely analytically. We look at, uh, let me back up. A lot of men already don't want to participate in marriage today because of the whole 50-50 chance of success rate. A lot goes into that. Is 50% of marriages actually don't end in divorce. And when they were calculating that, they didn't. They didn't eliminate people who were participating in second term marriages, third term marriages, fourth term marriages. So when you add up all the marriages and all the divorce, it ends up being 50-50. But in reality, it's closer to about 75 to 80% chance of success rate for first time marriages. Think about that, people. Think about that, people. A lot of times when we're given statistics and we're given facts, if we don't go fact check them ourselves, we're left in the dark, and then we're making conscious decisions based off skewed statistics. So I'm gonna leave a lot of that in the link in description, and you'll be able to research everything that I'm saying, because I'm gonna spew out a couple things that why men are thinking what they're thinking when they're interested in somebody. But before we get any further, okay, I'm gonna need some of my dope people to go ahead to either like, subscribe, or share the video. Okay, this ain't just about me. As you see, I'm not lying. My people gotta eat. Here's my people.
feed
Okay,
me.
this is my people. She needs to eat. She will get hangry if she don't eat. You don't want to see her when she's hangry, people. I don't want to see it. It's a tough situation. Okay, so let my people eat. Um, that would be really dope. Be dope. All right. So without further ado, when we're thinking about a future, we're not thinking about, oh, in 6 months, is such and such going to be like this or that. No, we're talking about how is she going to be when we're in our 50s and 60s? Is she the type of woman that is going to leave me if I lose my job and I'm without a job for 4 or 5 months? Now, thankfully, we've never been in that situation. And when I was analyzing my wife, we had a couple rough patches in the beginning when it came to finances. It was never, we were never at a point where we had no income coming in, but we're at a point where we wanted increased income. And the way that she handled that situation made me think, oh my goodness, this is a ride or die. She would not leave me lonely. She would not put me in a situation where I ever felt like I
So,
was 100%
what
by
was it?
myself.
What led you to even considering me to be wifey material? Like when we were in the dating process, what did you see in me that you didn't see in other girls or women at that time? Like how does a man pursue or make up in his mind that that's the one that I want to be with?
Okay. Yeah. So it's kind of like the future question. So when I first met her, I'm talking about outside of high school. That was puppy love stuff. Really, when I got her in high school, I thought she looked good. Um, I wanted to be around her. This was BC, so before Christ. So I was a little horn dog. I was probably just trying to get some. I was just trying to get some. That's the
You did
reality.
say that.
Yes, I did, and I meant it and I meant it. So that's exactly what was going through my mind. I was like, she looked good. I want some of that. I'm gonna go try and get some of that. I got with her. Okay. But when I got back with her when I was 21, I was actually pretty sick. And I was sick for, I'll talk about it in a later video, but I was sick for about a year. And that's when I got to analyze who are my real friends and who are the people I wanted to be around. This woman, I met her, we went on one date. I told her exactly how I was feeling, how I was sick, and how I didn't have the energy to really be consistent with our dating because there's time periods that I'm just completely fatigued and I need rest. And this woman stepped up so hard to take care of me in a way that I had never seen in anybody else that I ever dated. She, first of all, this is something shallow. Well, not shallow. Everybody knows this, so I wasn't going to put this in one of the key points. This woman can cook, all right? She cooked. She didn't just cook. Uh, she went ahead and cooked me soup from scratch. What's going on with the lighting? You see that? What just happened? There we go. It's key points. We got to be able to see my queen when I'm bragging on her. So she was cooking me chicken noodle soup from scratch. I'm talking about I saw a whole chicken get massacred in order for my health and my benefit to improve. I saw her. I was living in a house by myself. So my dad's in real estate. So I was living in a house by myself, and I had never really used a stove like that. Your boy can cook, but you kind of don't when you're a bachelor. You make regular stuff. You make stuff that you make on top of the stove. You're not really putting anything inside the oven. She was making me soups. She was making me full meals, and I was feeling as though my health was improving because I was eating in a way that was actually beneficial for my longevity. So she wasn't someone who wasn't just like, oh, you ain't gonna give me no attention. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna stick around because it's about me. And I felt like a lot of girls were like that. So I knew that if I got sick later on in life, that she would be there to take care of me. I need to turn this brightness up. What is going on?
I think it's fine. It's probably just
Oh, my shadow. I keep moving my hand. That's what it is. It auto adjusts, and as you see, I'm extremely charismatic with my gestures. So iPhone is trying to keep up with your boy. Good luck with that. But yeah, I saw a future with her. I saw a future with kids as well. I knew that she would be a great mother. Um, I knew by the way that she was taking care of me when I was sick that if I ever fell on hardships, that she would be able to manage the home.
So you saw nurturing.
I saw nurturing,
And do
and
men look for that in women? Like a nurturing woman? Or they want a baddie that just look good all day?
let's be real. We want a baddie that looks good, but that baddie need better have some nurturing besides her. I think a lot that's going on with the broken homes and the broken families, where there's a increased single mother rate. Women aren't getting the lessons for managing the home like they used to. Women instead are understanding how to work hard outside of the home. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be conducive towards a long-term relationship with a man. You can say what you want, men are egotistical, men are this and that, but in reality, uh, if we just put out some numbers, the reality is, once a woman is pregnant, she usually does not want to work or participate in paying any major bills of the home. It sounds crazy, but that's the reality of the situation. A lot of women are capable and want to build a career, but for some reason, once they are pregnant, their the appeal of the workplace environment greatly goes down. That's not that's not me saying that. That's the evidence that the women are
Because
saying.
realistically, having kids are hard and you
Yes.
can't do both fully.
So when we talk about like the wage gap and stuff like that, a lot of that comes from once the childbearing years are coming into full effect, a lot of women want to take it slow and raise um, their children, which is a great thing, which I commend a lot of people for doing that. And you're being an active participant in the nurturing of your children and what they need on a daily basis. Another point that I needed to get to was, can he trust you? A lot of relationships nowadays don't actually have the trust that would be beneficial for a marriage or a simple long-term relationship. Um, Social media has done something to society where we care more about the opinions of others instead of our significant other. And in doing that, you can see that there is a lapse in judgment. So you're doing things and participating in things on social media or when your spouse isn't there just to get attention. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have that problem. I don't think for one point in our entire relationship I ever had a lock on my phone, right?
Neither have I.
I've always told her when it comes to trust, I can give you my phone for a week. We could just swap phones. Can you do that though? Can you do that? And a lot of men feel like they can't do that with women, and a lot of men don't do that because they're doing something that's a little shady.
People fight over that, and it's
People
a
in
breakup
relationships,
deal. Like you won't let me have the passcode to your phone, or you have a passcode on your phone.
do you know how stupid that is? You're gonna let a phone that you bought, this machinery is about to end your relationship. So, an app, social media, Facebook, these people don't care about you.
And what do you have to hide that you can't let the other person just go into your phone?
What are you hiding? Also, uh, let's get into some numbers about cheating. There's a misconception about cheating in America. So I got the numbers right here. I'm also going to put the link in the description so you'll be able to fact check this. Um, when it comes to cheating at an early age, where most people find their spouse or the person that they're going to spend the rest of their life with, um, actually, I'll ask you this question: who cheats more between the age of 18 and 29?
The woman, because we didn't cheat.
Exactly. We don't cheat, but I'm talking about other people. Who cheats more,
Uh,
men or women?
I feel like it would be women.
Bingo.
It
Okay.
would be women.
Brains in beauty, people. She knows what she's talking about. So, statistically speaking, Women have a higher rate of cheating between the age of 18 and 29. The reason why they survey people 18 to 29 is because those are the marrying ages. Uh, it's not by a lot. Men cheat at a 10% rate and women cheat at an 11% rate. And then once you hit 30 to 35, both increase substantially. Like men cheat more and women cheat more. The problem is, fellas, you got to get it together. You're cheating at a much higher rate once you get in your 30s. Um, it gets ridiculous, dudes. You got to do better. If you pick someone in your youth and you're going to participate in her beauty and you're going to participate in her years that she would have the highest chance of finding someone who's going to respect her and cherish her for the rest of her life, and you're going to use that up, and then when she feels as though when you feel as though she's been used up or she gave you the kids, and then you go ahead and turn your back on her and you cheat on her, you're a piece of garbage.
That's why some women don't want to get married because they feel like if I become a stay-at-home mom and I give up my whole life, and then you decide to leave or do something that will cause our family to break up, then I have nothing.
Exactly. And no one wants to be left with nothing. Like we said, when a woman uh, when a woman gets pregnant and she gives birth to a child, her consideration for going back to the workplace greatly is reduced. So not only did she allow you to use her body, but she also gave up her career for her family. And then now if you were to break up and she needs to go back into the workforce, she has to account for all these years that she was out of the workforce. Everything's changed. Okay, we got a new iPhone coming out twice a year, people. Let alone the software that's going on in these companies that they expect you to know how to use, and they expect you to, especially if you're going to a managerial position because you want to provide for your family because you are left with the children. You want to be able to train others, and you're not going to be able to because you need to be trained on what is up to date. All right. Also, on the trust thing, we're going to talk about money. Like, a man wants to know that you're with him not because of his earning potential, but you're with him because you co-sign his dreams. Are you going to build with him or are you going to use him? Are you with him because he has a nice car, or are you with him because um, he inspires you to be a better version of yourself, and you in return inspire him to be a better version of himself? Men will elevate themselves based on the trust and companionship that they have with their wife. They don't want to feel used for their money. Now, you got a couple people when they're older in life, what are they, sugar daddies and sugar
Yes.
babies? These sugar daddies
Sugar
and these
mamas.
sugar babies,
They got sugar mamas too.
and they got sugar mamas. You feel me? They got sugar mamas. I don't want no sugar mama, but they got them out there. All right. They don't care if you're using them for the money. They know what it is. These quote unquote high value men, high value women, they're completely okay with you choosing them based on their earning potential or what they can give you, what they can provide for you. The average man in his youth is not thinking like that. He does want to feel needed. Okay, he wants to know that you need him, not just want him because uh, you be nice to be around or he makes you laugh. He also wants to feel needed.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of the situation. Yes, you can provide for yourself, or yes, you can do for yourself. But if you straight up don't need this gentleman, he's straight up. He's not going to feel any ownership in the relationship. Doesn't mean that he owns you, but he's going to feel as though he doesn't own anything in the relationship.
Right.
People take care of what they own. It's like an apartment versus a house. Nobody's painting the inside of their apartment because they don't own it. They're like, I'm not about to do this. You better get the manager to do that. They own this. It's theirs. Versus when it's your house, this dude's out here mowing the lawn for the fourth time this week. because he wants to make sure that it looks pretty on the outside, and then he's taking care of the inside. He's doing repairs in the attic. Okay, he's doing repairs in the basement. He's swapping out hot water heaters. He's doing all the little things that's going to make his house last for the next generation. And you want that for your relationship. You want him to feel like he has ownership in the relationship. You do too. You guys are going to cooperate together. Cooperate. Gets me into my next point. I, baby, what was one of the. I'm see. Nah, you probably won't. Well, I'll try. I'll try it. What did I say would be the number one turnoff for me when trying to start a relationship?
Mm.
Yeah, see, you know, I
I'll try.
mean,
I'll try. I'll try. You got a few, but laziness.
nah, that wasn't it. I mean, I just don't think I would even be attracted to someone who
Yeah.
was lazy. I don't even think it would get to that point. I'm more so talking about attitude. If
Oh yeah.
you're a person with attitude and you're picking fights with his family, you're picking fights with his friends, uh, he can't have a conversation with you without it ending in a argument. Men don't want to battle outside in the world. We're already I'm a black man in America. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna play the victim mentality and say the whole world is against me, but it's rough out here, and I don't want to come home and feel like it's rough too. I don't want to be battling for the person that I'm working towards providing their dream. You want the kind of man that wants you to give you your dream, right? Who would want to do that if they felt like someone was working against them or someone didn't understand them? What I think a lot of women forget is when you have an attitude with a man, it's as though you're telling him that you not only disagree with him, you don't respect him. You don't respect him enough to give him the courtesy of disagreeing with him respectfully. There's a way to say no or yes, or I want to do it a different way that doesn't have a bunch of eye rolls and snapping of the fingers and stuff like that. All of that is unnecessary. Keep that for someone else. If you want to have your attitude, ladies, go ahead and have your attitudes with your enemies, not your husband. And the same for the husbands. You're a team. You're about to cooperate. Cooperation, and I'm so big on that. Where when people talk, there'll be another video because I want to make this a series, people. When we're talking about submission and stuff like that, we're not talking about bow down to me, woman. I am your overseer. I am your lord. No, you're cooperating. You're cooperating. You designated someone to take the lead, and you're just cooperating with that. That doesn't mean the person doesn't consider you or care about you or is doing things that don't have your best benefit. Most likely, when someone's taking leadership, they're doing what's best for you rather than what's best for themselves. They're making it harder on themselves instead of making it harder on you because they need this machine to work. This machine called a relationship. But I think I'm gonna give you another point. Let's give you another point. This is something that, for some reason, is controversial in society, but we've known about it since the dawn of time. And they call men shallow, right?
Mm-hmm.
They call us shadow for wanting our woman to look good. Guess what? That's the reality.
I want my man to look
You
good.
want me, girl? I be in this gym. I be in the gym. You know what
Man,
I'm saying?
protect me.
You better
Come
protect you.
on.
Yeah, I mean, let's get. That's so crazy. Y'all want us to protect you, which requires us to stay physically fit. But in return, we want y'all to look good, which requires you to stay physically fit. And y'all don't want to do it. I mean, how many women would take a guy serious that if they believe if in the middle of the night they heard a on the door and it was someone trying to burglarize the place, they sending you. You would never want to be with
Yeah,
this dude.
never.
You would never, I don't care. Ideally, we got a lot of young people who will say it doesn't matter, it's 50-50, and we would go together. No, you're not. You're not doing that. That's not a
We
real
have
thing.
different roles. We don't
That's
have the same.
that's not reality, bro. Never, never. Let someone call you out of your name one time and your husband's there and see if you don't go off because he didn't correct it and make sure that that person never disrespects you again. I have a thing with my wife where every now and then I periodically remind her, you have never been disrespected while I was there. I've never let anybody
Facts.
disrespect my wife while in my presence,
Not even his family.
not even my family. Okay? Mama's boys, I'm talking to you. Mama's boys, be a man, dude. How about that? Be a man. Don't get married. For the fellas, real
It
quick,
doesn't mean you gotta be disrespectful to the person that you're telling it to, but you just don't let it happen.
don't be disrespectful. But check this out, fellas. If you are such a mama's boy that you gonna let your mother disrespect your wife, you not ready for marriage. And that's something for the ladies to look at. What they're thinking about. What they're thinking about when they're considering marriage. Is he gonna let his mama disrespect me? God forbid if his mom ever had to come live with us, who would still be queen of the house? It better not be your mama. Are you marrying her? Are you in a union with her? Okay. That got me off on a tangent. I was upset for a second just thinking of someone disrespecting my wife. I'd never. Man or woman, I'm stepping in. And if I find out you did it when I wasn't there, I'm knocking on your door. Believe that. But the looks department, men are, I don't even think that's shallow. I just think that's realistic.
So,
Um,
so when okay, let's elaborate on the looks part. What does that look like for if a man has a wife? She's a stay-at-home mom. She's with the kids all day, every day. What is your expectation of that? Do you expect her to be dressed and looking like baddie every day? Are you understanding to some degree that it's not something that she might be able to accomplish every day, or what does that look like for a man? What is his realistic expectation on
uh, so on the day to day, I can only speak for myself, but I don't think men are looking for his wife to look as though she's about to go to the ball on a regular day. But he also wants to be able to see her frequently outside of sweats. Um, Most men that I know, and this is going to be a shocker for some of you ladies because you all actually judge each other way more harshly than men judge you. And then I feel as though you mirror that on to men. We like you natural. We don't like a lot of makeup. We like to see you barefaced and in your hair and in your natural mode. Can that mean pull your hair back into a ponytail or brush it or comb it? Yeah. But also, um, it's the way you're presenting yourself when you're around the house. Uh, every now and then, throw on a sundress. Make sure that your clothes
you want to
match.
see that jiggle when she walks?
You want to see that jiggle, okay? I don't know how much I could stress this situation, but the jiggle is mandatory. All right. I mean, some people like the flatbacks. Uh, some people like flatbacks,
You so
but I'm a
wrong.
brother and I enjoy the jiggle and making yourself presentable as though you can go to the supermarket. That's all we really need around the house. But when we're talking about a relationship, we're also considering how are you going to handle your weight in the long term. Um, Me personally, I understand that the human body fluctuates. If you have children, you're going to increase in weight. Most men, actually, I don't know if people know this, if you don't have any children, but most men gain weight when his wife is
Yeah,
pregnant. I actually gained 70 pounds for my first
he
child.
gained weight each time. We got
I
it.
gained 70 pounds. I mean, I still look kind of decent because I lift weights. So that 70 pounds didn't hit me as hard as it could someone else. But I felt myself getting sloppy and I reeled it back in. Also, my wife did the same thing. I think 5 to 6 weeks after delivering the child, she was over here at the Culver Stairs working out. You know, don't got to do anything tough. Do it one time, do it twice, show the effort, cut back on the snacks so you can get back
Yeah.
somewhere in the range, just the range. We're getting older.
Some of us
Um,
still like to eat like we're still pregnant after we had the baby.
exactly. And that's not, it's not another thing. It's not his job to make sure that you keep yourself presentable. It's your job. Um, the average man is understanding that you're going to fluctuate in height. I mean, height. Yeah, you about to get tall after this. You're going to fluctuate in weight, uh, but keeping yourself presentable in general is something that is going to keep your man interested. Um, you guys have to be sexually compatible, and if you signed up for someone who is 5'5" and you met them and they're 120 pounds, and then 3 years in, because they got comfortable, they're 190 pounds. That difference, without you checking with your spouse, is going to cause some tension. You know what I'm saying? One of the things that I'm seeing when we're looking at the numbers, that men cheat at a much higher rate in their 30s. Women cheat in their 30s too at a higher rate than they did in their youth. So let's put that out there. A lot of it has to do with the physical attraction going down because people aren't communicating with their spouse and what they deem appropriate, or getting a routine that allows them to work out together. One thing that my wife and I do on a regular basis is our Friday active dates. We call them love hikes,
I
or
like
we go
those
to the
too.
beach. You know what I'm saying? Do something like be fun, be cute. They want to see you be cute, be cute. Okay? Uh, just go out there and be active with each other. If I'm gaining weight, at one point I gained more weight than she did. She dropped her weight like she was snatched. It was crazy. She had birth. This was after like our second or third child, and she was snatching like a month or two. Meanwhile, I was still carrying around the 70 pounds. She was going with me to the track and encouraging me to run and stuff like that, encouraging me to do my push-ups. Um, and then in return, I think after the last pregnancy, it was a little harder for her to lose some of the weight. So I created some workout plans for her, and we were able to do them together in the living room or go outside, or we created the active dates. So we'll go golfing, we'll go hiking, we'll want to go
It has to
swimming.
be an activity.
Be an activity. You know, not every date needs to be I'm eating ice cream and we Netflixing and chilling. You want to also be able to do stuff outside the home that's going to allow you to casually communicate and see how you guys can act in a natural environment. Um,
And sometimes I like to just chill. So it's not that every day is strictly, activity, but it's that balance you have in the relationship where, okay, hubby loves activities and so do I, but sometimes I want to just be cute and not be in sweats working out. And he'll make that adjustment for us to do that, do something romantic where he could show me off, you know?
exactly. So what we're saying is there's hope for couples or people who want to participate in marriage. Just to throw some numbers out there, black men are available. If you're interested in a black man, I might also put a link in the description so you can check this out. Black men are available. 33% of black men are married. That's a lot of other men that are out there and available for a union with a young lady. Another statistic is we have this myth that there's this uprise or all black men are dating outside the race. Let's be honest and deal with the numbers. We have to be practical. We have to use our logic. Just do your Googles, people. Statistically speaking, 85% of black men marry black women. 85%. Let's not be upset about the 15, because no matter what, in any society, there's going to be interracial relationships. We're all one human race in the first place, but we all know most people stick to their own kind. And this is across the board. This is across the board. The average man marries someone from his own hue. someone from his own tribe, someone from his own people group. That's average. So if we wanted to look at the numbers and see who's doing it the most, interracial marriages, that's actually a white man with an Asian woman, not a black man with someone else, and all that anger could kind of
So
stop.
elaborating off of that, you should probably do a video on why that end up happening sometimes because we're looking for men that's out of our league, um, or not in our league, like as far as the black man, um, and black woman.
Maybe
You know what
I'll do that. Okay, so comment in the description. Comment. And if you want to see that, I'll go ahead and make a video about like why interracial relationships are a thing right now, why they're the most prevalent. I have a lot of information on that actually. And like I said, I'm not going to do things simply based off opinion. I'm going to give you the statistics and I'm going to give you the resources that I have and that I went and did my research on. I'm not just someone who's out here talking just because he likes to hear his own voice. Also, a couple other things. Women too date outside their race. Women too married outside their race. Um, but at a less frequent rate, black women actually 90%, 93% of the time marry a black man. Okay, so there's a 7% difference. We're not gonna get super pumped up and super upset over 7% people. All right, it's only 7%. It's not crazy. It's not like, man, it's like 40, half of black men are all getting taken up. That's not real. That's not a thing. We'll talk about that in a different video. Let's use this, okay? And 6% of our black men are incarcerated at a given time. Yes, 33% of the black men in the United States do have a record or have been incarcerated. 33%. That's another thing to think about when we're thinking about like high earner men and things like that, because we know once you're incarcerated, um, society has put limitations on people to get reassociated with what we approve of as doable work for someone who has been incarcerated. Okay. So 6% of men, black men at this present time are incarcerated. It's not a crazy number, although 33% of black men have been incarcerated and do have a record. And that does place limitations and that does put them in certain environments where maybe if you're looking to get married, it's not an environment that you see someone who's actually looking for marriage. So we could talk about that too. Let me know the next video that you guys want to listen to because we're going to continue to do this together because I'm feeling it. You know what? I don't know if y'all know. I get hyped with my pretty young thing next to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got all them kids, boy. That's why I got all them kids.
So let us know if you guys want us to do some, I guess, couple advice videos
Yeah,
from the
well,
perspective,
we take questions. Couple advice. Send in your questions. And we'll go ahead and get something that your girl over here can talk more on and give you the female perspective. It's not going to be all about me, people. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a topic that she's gonna be the expert on, and we're gonna come with the numbers on that one too, because this is Brown Love, and what do I love? Yes, I love you. Uh, but I also love practical wisdom, practical application, and answering your questions logically. Okay, we're gonna see you next time, people. Yeah.